Hello, cyber defenders, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Threat. I'm your host, Your Name, and today we've got an action-packed lineup of cybersecurity news that you won't want to miss. So grab your virtual coffee, settle in, and let's dive right into the world of digital defense. Our first story takes us to the critical realm of national security. A recent article from Dark Reading highlights 5 early warning indicators that play a crucial role in safeguarding our nation's most valuable secrets. These indicators provide organizations with a chance to detect potential breaches before they escalate into full-blown security disasters. Unusual network traffic patterns. Unusual user activity. Unexpected data transfers. Unsanctioned device connections. Suspicious insider behavior. These indicators are like the digital canaries in the coal mine, alerting us to threats that might otherwise go unnoticed. Detecting and acting upon these signals could be the difference between containing a breach and suffering massive data loss. Now, let's delve into a real-life scenario where these indicators could have made a difference. Last year, a nation-state group infiltrated a government agency by exploiting an unpatched vulnerability in their network. This allowed the attackers to move laterally and access sensitive information, all while evading detection. The attackers remained unnoticed for months, siphoning off confidential data and jeopardizing national security. Had the agency been vigilant in monitoring these early warning indicators, the breach might have been identified much sooner, reducing the potential fallout. So, what can organizations do to protect themselves? Here are some best practices to consider. Regularly monitor network traffic for unusual patterns. Implement user behavior analytics to identify abnormal user activity. Set up alerts for unexpected data transfers or connections. Enforce strict device control policies to prevent unsanctioned connections. Train employees to recognize and report suspicious behavior. Remember, the early warning indicators are your allies in the fight against cyber threats. Stay vigilant and proactive. Now that we've covered the importance of early warning indicators, let's move on to a more technical topic. In a recent report by Bleeping Computer, we uncover a new breed of stealthy techniques that hackers are using to gain unauthorized access to Windows system privileges. These techniques are designed to bypass traditional security measures and fly under the radar. Windows system privileges are like the keys to the kingdom, granting hackers the ability to control and manipulate a system at the highest level. So, how are they doing it? The attackers are exploiting vulnerabilities in the Windows operating system that allow them to escalate their privileges from a low-level user to an administrator. This gives them unprecedented control over the system, enabling them to install malicious software, steal sensitive data, and even compromise the entire network. What's even more concerning is that these techniques are designed to leave minimal traces, making detection extremely difficult. This puts businesses at a significant risk of silent, persistent attacks that can cause irreparable damage. To defend against these stealthy attacks, here are some recommendations. Keep your Windows systems up to date with the latest security patches. Implement the principle of least privilege to restrict user access. Utilize endpoint detection and response (EDR) solutions to catch unusual activity. Invest in advanced threat intelligence to stay ahead of emerging techniques. Remember, in the ever-evolving landscape of cyber threats, staying informed and adaptive is crucial. Now, let's address a topic that has remained a persistent concern for businesses and individuals alike. Our final story of the day comes from IT Pro, shedding light on the fact that despite all the advancements in cybersecurity, email remains the preferred vector for cyber attacks. It's a reminder that even the most innovative defenses can't fully mitigate the risks posed by human vulnerabilities. Did you know that over 90% of cyber attacks start with a malicious email? It's staggering how effective this simple yet deceptive method can be. Attackers are crafting increasingly convincing phishing emails, using social engineering tactics to manipulate recipients into divulging sensitive information or executing malicious actions. Once an unsuspecting user clicks a link or opens an attachment, the attackers can gain a foothold into the network, leading to data breaches, ransomware infections, and more. What's worse, even well-trained employees can fall victim to these attacks due to the sophisticated methods employed by hackers. To fortify your defenses against email-based attacks, consider these best practices. Provide comprehensive cybersecurity training to educate employees about email threats. Implement robust email filtering and anti-phishing solutions. Encourage a culture of skepticism, urge employees to verify before clicking. Enable multi-factor authentication, MFA, to add an extra layer of security. Remember, an organization's cybersecurity is only as strong as its weakest link, which could unfortunately be a single employee. There you have it, folks. A deep dive into today's top cybersecurity stories that remind us of the ongoing battle we face in the digital realm. To stay ahead of the curve, remember to heed the early warning indicators, fortify your Windows systems, and remain cautious of emails that seem too good to be true. If you found today's episode informative and valuable, don't forget to subscribe to The Daily Threat. We're here to keep you informed, empowered, and ready to tackle any cyber challenge that comes your way. As always, The Daily Threat is brought to you by our friends at QIT Solutions. They're your partners in safeguarding your digital assets and ensuring a secure future. Thank you for joining us today. Until next time, stay vigilant, stay secure, and remember, knowledge is power.